For you need to intuitively and instinctively follow your heart and soul. And guess what? It's hard.
This has just been the most extraordinary experience of my entire life. And it's like you've just woken my soul up.
And if you want to create a really good community of care, be the #1 carer in your community.
Thank you so much.
That was unbelievable. I felt that. Didn't you feel that, man?
I did feel it. I did feel that.
Oh my goodness, I wish I was in the same room because I'm a touchy-feely person and I just want to hug you, even though there's COVID.
What the heck is happening right now?
That was powerful. I actually have tears in my eyes. That's how good it was. So thank you.
I just don't understand how you have the ability to do that, dude. Like, people are talking and you're breaking out like charts and segments, and it's so enriching.
Okay. That's okay. That's mind blowing. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. My God.
I loved everything. I am deeply blessed and grateful. My life is forever changed.
Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
I believe because I can do all things through Christ.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, I've just never met anyone like you.
And boom! 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 We are live, everybody. Welcome, everybody. I think I just blew up my speaker in my headphone with that boom. One of my ears is missing great. This is funny. I'll have to fix that later. Welcome, everybody, to Inspiring Insights. Stephen DeSede, the live experience. The live experience. My name is Peter Clark, Red TV, and of course, my good friend, all the way across time zones, all the way across the giant pond, Stephen DeSede. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Good morning from tomorrow for me.
I know you're into tomorrow. I mean, don't tell me how it ends and don't tell me how it starts. All that stuff.
No. All I can tell you is it's coming. So get ready.
Absolutely. So listen, I'm always excited about the guests we have. We have 3 amazing people sitting in the green room right now. Yep. And we meet them for the first time. A lot of people don't know that, but we actually meet them just before they come on because the mic is working and stuff, but we don't know too much about them. So it's always fun to know that they're coming on with bright, wide eyes and all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited about today.
Wide as eyes.
Start with something value add for everybody. So let's just jump right away down to the board and see what you have going on here for us today.
Yeah, everything Peter and I want to do is in the first 5 minutes of this show, we want to give you a tactic and then give you a mini masterclass of the 2 things that we do. One of them's on the board, one of them's on a bunch of slides. Today's DeSede tactic is masculine and feminine energy empowerment. And this is not relationship advice, everyone. Every single relationship you have in your life is occasional, recreational, professional, family, or intimate, and can be categorized into relationships you have regard for, relationships you have respect for, and relationships you have romance in. And the concept of love, based on what I've just said, that journey from occasional to intimate, the concept of love is the levels of abundance you have in any relationship based on kindness, gratitude, compassion, support, and forgiveness. So yesterday, for example, I was in the supermarket and I was going one way and the guy went that way, and we did that dance in the supermarket trying to get past each other. There was an element of kindness and courtesy to each other on the occasion that we met. There was no sort of level of family, romance, and intimacy. It was just an occasional connection. When you get up to intimacy, and only yesterday I heard a DeSede guest lost a baby after 14 weeks, and the level of forgiveness, support, and compassion I have towards that particular lady is through the roof, and I love her to bits. So every single relationship will be occasional, recreational, professional, family, and intimate, categorized as either relationships of regard, respect, and romance. And your abundance of kindness, gratitude, compassion, support, and forgiveness is the levels that you have in any relationship leading to the ultimate relationship of intimate love. And is it any wonder we call it making love for that intimate connection you have? Every single relationship that you have is actually a relationship between masculine and feminine energy. And it's not just between a girl and a boy. If you think of the relationships of same gender relationships, there is usually someone in that relationship that has more of a masculine tendency and the other has a feminine. It's just the way that it is, both with guys and girls with girls. Beautiful. But every relationship you will ever conduct in your life will have some relationship between masculine and feminine energy, which is what I call today's tactic is masculine and feminine energy empowerment. Feminine energy wants to be loved and protected. Masculine energy wants to be respected and loved. That's why we boys will beat our chest. We want the women in our lives, or the feminine energy in our life, to tell us how great we are and how Tarzan we are, and then tell us we love us. Women want to be loved and protected. And for any of the ladies out there that thinks love and protection is the only way you can survive if a man gives it to you, that's not true. It's not what I'm saying. What I talk about, and I speak about this a lot, is the soul circle of love. Now, I've defined love as the levels of abundance of this. So the soul circle of kindness for the gentleman that I did the dance in the aisle at the supermarket with, this is still applicable. So the soul circle of love is simply this. A good woman keeps her man, and a good man gives her reason to. And for the ladies out there that think that I've led with ladies because it's a lady's job to keep her man and we react, that's not why it is. In Sede land, in Stephen Sede's world, women always go first. Women always got first. And my marriage broke down because I got this wrong. But I could easily say a good man gives a woman reason to, and a good woman keeps her because of it. It's just the way that I've written it down, because ladies always go first. So every single relationship you're going to have is going to be occasional, recreational, professional, family, or intimate, from regard to respect to romance. And the level of kindness, gratitude, compassion, support, and love you have is applicable in every relationship, whether it's the intimate relationship or it's the professional relationship. So guys, if you have women and ladies around you, understand that they seek love and protection. It doesn't mean that every girl's going to love you, but love to a woman is kindness, gratitude, compassion, support, and forgiveness. Girls, remember, guys are seeking respect before they're seeking love. And again, love doesn't have to be intimate love. It could just be the occasional kindness that you show. So every single relationship is basically a combination of how do you create love and protection and respect and love based on kindness, gratitude, compassion, support, and forgiveness. So today's tactic is very much, how aware are you of this? Number 2, what is your interrupt, guys and girls? What is your interrupt in the context of dealing with women and feminine energy and masculine and male energy? And then what's your value go to? In those moments of interconnection where there may be a disagreement, there may be a misunderstanding, what does your value go to based on kindness, gratitude, compassion, support, and forgiveness? If you understand this, you'll understand the energy that makes up the human race, masculine and feminine energy empowerment by the love and protection and the respective love of every person you come near. Peter?
Like, seriously, we start with this? This is what you start with?
Yeah, but this will be cut out as a tactic, and on Wednesdays these get distributed.
I'm just so fascinated, like this subject matter. So let me just throw in a couple of one-liners before we pull this off the screen here. Like, you know me, every time we have, I always talk about the feminine energy on the show. I always love feminine energy on the show, and I mean that exactly the way I mean it. I'm not disrespectful to the male energy. No. And the fact that, this idea of the circle of love and masculine and feminine, and you wrote down, for example, woman keeps man, all that. Again, that's being used as an example. I mean, it's interesting, again, that relationships come in all shapes, sizes. Yeah, they do. And so it still applies in the idea of the energy, because I know what you mean by that. Yeah, when I say woman there, I'm talking about feminine energy. And I mentioned that feminine energy can be present in a homosexual relationship between two men, and most often it is. Nothing wrong with it, but there's usually going to be one masculine guy in the relationship and one feminine. And in a relationship between two women, there's something similar. It's nothing wrong. It's just the way that it is. Sure. No, hey, listen, I appreciate that. I resonate with that, because I gotta tell you, just as a guy, to be frank with you, when I'm around really overwhelming masculine energy, I'm overwhelmed. Like I get overwhelmed. And I just like, I like the nice balance. So I love what you said here. I really do. And
overwhelming masculine energy is usually ego.
Right.
Okay. Guys, always remember, If a woman can't find love and protection in the relationships at whatever level they are, they will go and cluster and find it amongst themselves. Men, if they can't find respect and love, they'll go and brood and isolate.
Oh, yes. That's
cool. It's the reason why you often hear me saying there's a video out there that 100 years from now, humanity will look back on this era, not of COVID and driverless cars and landing on Mars. It'll get back to the aspect of the human race needs to group, cluster, be empathetic, nurturing. They need to be kind, gratitude, compassion, support, and forgiveness. I've just described the DNA of the female gender of the human race. 100 years from now, it'll be seen as when women took their rightful place in the world. And I'm not talking about women's rights. I'm talking about humanity having to understand that before we think drilling on an asteroid makes us better than each other, we better realize when something invisible called COVID comes along, we can't even stand in a supermarket together. So when I say a good woman, I'm talking about feminine energy. When I say a good man, I'm talking about masculine.
Got it. Beautiful. I love that.
Thanks,
I really love that. Yeah, fantastic.
Can I lose this now?
Yes, you can. Well, of course, just so everyone knows, of course, we'll have that available.
Wednesdays.
Yeah, we'll have
Sede tactics come out on Wednesdays.
There you go. There you go. So no, thank you for that, Steve. It's fantastic. And again, I know anytime we have a show where there's like 3 females, for example, I always joke with
Ladies
that. I just love it. I love the feminine energy. It's cool. Well, we got Naz with us today. So
yes.
we're a little bit, yeah, we got Naz from down in Australia today. So he's going to offset the feminine energy for us today. Hey, let's just jump real quick to a couple comments just to let you know, Stephen, a few people are watching. So Zara's there.
Good morning, Zara.
Really appreciate that. Look at Rashmi. Hello, Peter. Hello, Stephen. Love that. Maddie O'Keefe. Always love to see Maddie O'Keefe. Appreciate that. Hello, Peter, Steve, and hope all is well. That's Andrea. Look at that. I mean, these people are just rock stars. You know, hello to both of you. We appreciate that. Doug's in the house.
Hey, buddy.
Sarah, look at Sarah.
Hey, beautiful lady.
Hey, can't wait to meet her. Like, meet her. Like, I know the
Saturday morning, Sarah. I have to send a note to you. Saturday morning, which will be Friday for you.
Oh, there you go, Lori. Hey, good to see you as well. Appreciate that. So powerful lines. Oh, here's quick. So powerful and aligns with the universe. It is. It's a circle of life.
It is. Yeah, you could call it that too. Well done, Rishi. You could call it that too.
Ah, love that. Okay, so let's just we got to get to the show. I mean,
yes.
Peter, I keep forgetting that we got lots.
But everyone, let me let you in on a secret. And this is a secret of what we're doing, and it's also an example of what you should do as well. We are creating the show that there's an intro that runs for about 60 seconds, which is like a LinkedIn post. Then Peter comes on and creates a rapport, as beautifully as he does with the sentiment of who he is. I then do a tactic, which is about a 3-minute video on LinkedIn. And then we have a quick break, do some comments or whatever Peter decides to do because he leads that part. And then we go into the masterclass, which is a series of slides. The first 10 minutes of this show is matched to breaking into the elements of how you post on LinkedIn.
Yes, very true. And that's what
we're teaching that inside of Soul Shifters.
See, I love that. It all tied back to Soul Shifters. But I love the idea that someone can tune into this, believe it or not, for 5 or 10 minutes and walk away with amazing insights and so on. So let's just jump to the show here. Let me get the slides that you sent me. I generally went through them. This is what I love about it, everybody. I'm watching this and loving this as much as you guys are at the same time, and I get just as fascinated every single time. So let's get this show on the road, Stephen. Interruptive reasoning. When I saw interruptive and reasoning, I was just like, my left and right brain are still trying to reconcile those two, but I'll let you take it away. Go ahead.
No worries. Interruptive reasoning, straight away to the definitions like we always do. And these will come out every Monday. These are called the Sede Masterclass. Interruptive is to make a break in continuity and uniformity. Think of COVID in 2020. Reasoning is the basis cause of a thought, belief, and an action. So in Sede land, interruptive reasoning is to break the continuity of a thought or action. But we use reasoning to do 2 things: to overcome obstacles, which are problems, and to acquire intentions, which is desires. But here's the kicker. The same thinking that created a problem cannot be used to resolve it. Let me say that again, just in case you missed it. The same thinking that created a problem cannot be used to resolve it. And when you keep using the same thinking for the same problem, you create the endless cycle of negative repetition. So inside of Mindset Mastery, Freak to Speak, and my Visual Simplicity courses inside the Academy, I teach and train on a thing called fighter pilot focus, what I call supersonic reasoning. When a pilot enters a theatre coming into it at supersonic speed, they do 4 things, and I've learnt this through military connections. They have to observe, orientate, decide, and act, and usually do it at Top Gun speed. But how do we actually take interruptive reasoning and put it into our teams? The teams are called our professional life, the teams called our romantic life, going back to the tactic a moment ago, inside of our families. How do we do that? The first thing we need to do is observe, and to truly observe is to see and listen to others deeply. To orientate is to feel and understand those around you deeply. To decide is to create common goals with those that are in your team. And to act is to create a reliance and a dependency on each other. So obstacles are the problems that we're trying to overcome. Interruptive reasoning is to disrupt the thinking that created the problem so we can actually create the intention we're after, which is our desire. And the process of doing that is, number 1, observe, listen and see those that are around you. Number 2, orientate, feel and understand those that are around you. And to do that, you're going to have to interrupt your thinking. Number 3, decide on common goals that the people in your team help you create. And then number 5, act by being interdependent, where you rely on each other. That is the only way you can interrupt the reasoning and the thinking that created the problem in the first place. So observe, orientate, decide and act. Listen and see those around you. And I'm intentionally repeating myself. Feel and understand those that are with you. Create common goals that they help create. And be interdependent, relying on each other. Now, that all's great words, Steve, I can hear you say, but what does that look like in a real life situation? And soul shifters will understand this. These are the Sede angels. The girl, they call themselves that, not me. I appreciate it though. They're the guardians of Sede land. They are seen, heard and understood by me. I speak to them every day. They help set the goals and we are dependent upon each other. And every single post of Sede is hashtag Sede Angels. Every single one. You know, want to know why? Because every single piece of content that comes out of Sede land, they in some way have seen, heard, been understood, and actually help create. So here's my 3 questions for you in Sede takeouts. What's your interrupt tactic for problems that you have? Number 2, when you see and listen to others, do you feel it too? Or are you too busy letting them tell you something before you tell them regardless of what they say? And here is the big kicker, everyone. If you're not feeling seen or heard yourself, have you ever wondered why? Because what we receive back in life is usually what we're transmitting. Peter?
Wow. I can't believe, I'm telling you, Stephen, I don't know how this always works out, but I can't believe that this is what you're talking about today, and especially about being seen and heard and so on. Renuk and I were out for a walk this morning, and we were talking about that, like about what do people want? What do people want? What do they want? And I've always believed that it comes back to, I've heard Oprah say, but I think she took it from, whether Maya Angelou or somewhere. Wherever. It came from somewhere. And it's this idea of, do you see me? Do you hear me? And do I matter? Do you see me? Yes. Do you hear me? Do I matter? And and this feeling of not being seen or heard, that's a lot of the anxiety that's out there. People are thinking, I don't even know if I matter. Does any of my ideas matter? Does anyone see or hear me? Does am I fading into the realm of just not even being noticed anymore? So anyway, I think that's a really big issue today.
Because everyone will say you need to have really good listening skills. Well, to me, that's BS. The only way you can have really good listening skills is to have really good feeling skills. The only reason why you can have really good feeling skills is if you actually have a commitment to create some common goals and then create some interdependencies with the people that you've got. Think of your family, everyone, especially if you've got a young family, mum and dad. This is me speaking from the outside because I don't have a family. How often have you got common goals and interdependencies of everyone sitting around the dinner table with young children? You need to have that level of focus on seeing, hearing, feeling, committing to common goals that everyone contributes to, and committing to interdependencies amongst you. Most people think I have to have good listening skills because I Googled it one day, or I bought a course that said you need to be a good listener. If you aren't a good feeler, you're not listening.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Okay.
There you go.
Listen, I mean, the booms are just, there's too many booms. There's too many booms that go in. I just want to throw up a couple more comments here. One was made from the river mouth, head from pin. Not from his head to top him, nor from his feet to be stepped upon. She was made from beneath his arm to be protected near him, protected by him. And near his heart to be loved by him. So again, this is the play on the male and female energy that we were talking about. Just love all that. Sarah will be there. She's gonna be rocking. Rajiv's in the house. So appreciate that. Beautiful angels. That was a good shout out there. Good to see you bothers.
Hey, Angela from Singapore. It's early doors in Singapore. Good morning, Singapore.
It's like 2 o'clock in the morning over there or something. I mean, just unbelievable. Maddie O'Keefe, yes, of course, relevant. Yeah. So let's get, we got some great guests sitting in the,
yes.
So I'm going to take you, Stephen. I just decided at last minute, just before we came out, I'm going to take you from east to west. We're going to go East Coast, North America, go into the central part a little bit, and then we're going to cross the pond and come over your way. How's that sound? So
I have no idea. I'm aware of who's on the show. I don't know where they're from though, but still.
Well, first of all, we're going to go to, listen, this is the hub of the world. A lot of people, they can argue with me all they want. I've never been there, by the way. Can you believe I've never been to the Big Apple? I've never been.
Oh, yeah, you've said that. Yeah.
I know. I can't believe this. I've traveled to all kinds of crazy places in the world, and you think that would be top of my list, but it is. I just haven't been there. So let's bring in Shannon and see if there she is. Hey, Shannon, how are you?
Oh, my Lord. Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Now you're in the greater New York area, right? Are you give us specifically where you are so everyone knows.
Okay, so it's called Riverdale, which is like a really small, like little suburb area of New York, and I absolutely love it because I'm originally from Tennessee, and it kind of makes me feel like I'm home.
Awesome. Love that. Well, I just want to give a couple of quick shout outs to you for a number of different things, but you are a strong proponent, obviously, working with healthcare and organizations, talking about LGBTQ and inclusivity, all that kind of stuff. So bravo to you. And I just want to give you big props because I understand you are a nurse. Were you or are you?
Always a nurse. Once a nurse, always a nurse.
Always a nurse. Well, my mom was a nurse. So I'm my super soft spot for nurses. And thank you so much for everything that you do. I'm going to leave you with Stephen with your question. Thank you for being on the show. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Peter.
All right, just slide a little bit towards the center, just a touch. There you go. Beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. And, I really appreciated your comments earlier when you were talking about the same-sex type of feminine and masculine energy. So Thank you for recognizing same-sex relationships.
Human beings.
Yes, absolutely.
When everyone gets into the debate about whether it's guy, girl, it's human beings.
Exactly.
Number one, my view is, as if you're in a relationship with someone, I'm a card-carrying member of I Love the Girls Club, but I have no problem with people who are different. My only view is respect everyone. If you're in a relationship, I don't care who it's with, just respect them.
Yeah, that's the secret. Absolutely.
Yeah, simple as that. Simple as that. What are we talking about today? You look wonderful with your background. It's beautiful. Well done.
I just did this today. I did like my LinkedIn story, putting this up and everything. So thank you for the comment.
It's gorgeous. No, I love it. It's really good. It matches all the show coloring as well, which is cool. So what are we going to talk about so we can serve and help some people listening?
Okay, so my question to you, Stephen, is when you are up to big things in your life, how do you handle people who don't understand your drive and your desire for success?
All right. Well, the angels are watching. Hi, girls. And
Hi,
I'll get in trouble if I don't get this question right. Okay. We'll do the negative bits first. I get really frustrated and I get angry. They know that. But I try as best as I can not to be disrespectful. As a male, I tend to go off and brood and isolate a little bit. Now, I know, because of what people kind of assume that I might be, that I've got to go off and give you all this great stuff, and I will. But my first interactions when I get hurt, especially when you give as much as what we do into Sede land, and we care as much as we do into Sede land, and I'm not suggesting that's any more or any less than anyone else. I'm just proud of the extent of what I do. There are two types of people in life when you're extremely giving. One type of person will find a way to knock at you, to try, as my mentor says, to make you small so they fit in. Others, like Trevor and those types of guys I was only speaking to yesterday, they will sit and be complimentary and add value where they can, knowing that in many cases you operate at a level that's different to them. So the first thing you need to be aware of is, who are the people in your life that are talking into your life? Are they contributors to your journey, or are they just trying to make themselves fit in, make you fit into theirs by making you small? Yeah. I've had people give me compliments, and I've had people give me criticisms. And the other thing as well is, the underlying to that is, are you a practitioner in the advice you're giving me? Okay. Are you a practitioner in the advice you're giving me? So if you think of the concept of focus, and I've put my ears in a little loose today, so if I keep fiddling with my ears, that's what it is. The number one thing is, what are you focused on? Because when failure comes, when hurt comes, it comes in the form of disruption. And that disruption usually, if you're not managing it correctly, comes in the form of your ego going, I told you so. The other thing is, there's two types of people, as we just suggested. There's people who are trying to down you so they can fit in, and there's people who are trying to lift you. My advice in the context of this focus, expect the failure to hurt, expect you to be disrupted, and expect for your ego to tell you, I told you so. So my number one bit of advice in terms of how to do this, number one is expect it. And I know you're going to watch all those people who are online who've said, I've never failed, or I failed, and they immediately tell you how great it is. Stephen Sede fails almost every day. Gets told some amazing things online every day, and I fail every single day. I fail, it hurts. I have people around me that are trying to down me. I have people that are trying to lift me. I have people that I have levels of disruption because my ego tells me it's not good enough. But the first thing I do is expect it. Because if you expect something, guess what you can do? You can manage it. Mm-hmm. So the first thing to do is expect it. The second thing to do is, are they a practitioner? And I'll say practice because it's faster. So the first thing to do is expect it. Why? Because over there, if you expect it, you can manage it. Guess what? If you manage it, you can lift yourself. You don't need any lifting from others. The second thing you need to do is, are they a practitioner of what you have failed at, or what your focus is? Because if they're a practitioner, they can actually assist you. And the third thing, which is really, really simple, forgive. And we've talked about this several times on the show. Forgiveness is a commitment. So how do I manage the fact that sometimes I fail? It hurts. It disrupts me. My ego says, I told you so, Steve. If you heard my story in the last couple of weeks, there's a companion in my head that keeps telling me I'm a loser because I can't get things to do the way I want them to do, because I was like that for 10 years. I expect it to come so I can manage it. I engage people around me who are practitioners so they can assist me, and then I forgive myself and remind myself every single day, you are committed to the service and the heart of others, Steve. If you fail, it will hurt. But guess what? A lady yesterday will ring me to say about a 14-week loss of a baby that she wants to speak to me about. Other people ring me about some of the most profound truths in their life. I've had people come on this show and in less than 5 minutes tell me about stories of their 30-year-ago relationship where there was disrespect in their home. Peter and I have a almost invisible signal that if someone forgets when they're talking to me that they're live, Peter will come on and make sure that the person knows, before you think this is one-on-one so deeply with Steve, we will just make sure we respect everyone, so people all of a sudden don't say something and realize, oh my God, that just went out publicly. So what is your number one focus, Shannon? There are people who are going to enter your life, especially in the context of the type of stuff that you talk about. There's a lot of people out there who are just going to have a misconceived perception because of generational, because of religious beliefs, whatever it might be, that a girl and a girl and a guy shouldn't do what they should do, or a guy shouldn't do this or that, and all of the stuff that's associated with your world. There are going to be people that are going to try and push you down so they can feel better about it. I wrote this only this week. When people are critical of you, it's usually something that they have in themselves. Criticism is usually someone's self-reflection of what they don't like of themselves. And so they'll go out and they'll find someone they can criticize because they haven't got the guts to look in the mirror and say, that's what I am. So number one, your focus is people are going to either put you down or they're going to lift you. Expect it to fail, expect it to hurt, because if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. Expect it to disrupt you and expect your ego to do the dance on your soul, because I told you so, because that's the ego's job. Expect it so you can manage it. Find practitioners that will assist you and forgive yourself as a commitment, and that'll lift you into the life that you deserve, and it will lift you into the reason why you've got the smile on your face you do, because you're a sweetheart of a human being who deserves the world to know you exist.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible. Wow.
You asked.
I totally get it. I mean, but it totally makes sense to me.
You know, I wanted to jump in to make sure I didn't misunderstand something, Stephen. So forgive me if I got something.
Yeah, no, go for it. And pardon me for adjusting my ears, everyone. I put these on poorly today. So go for it, Pete.
So first of all, Shannon, I love that reaction. And that's what I'm, every time I see him, I just go, what did he just do? What was that? So I appreciate that. At the beginning, when you started talking about, with the beginning of your question, you mentioned the word drive. Did I hear that wrong about people misunderstanding how determined you are about what you do? Did I misunderstand that?
No, most of my opening remarks were I mean, only in the last week. The angelic relationship I've got with the girls has been a little bit disrupted because I'm so focused on what I want that some of the things that they're doing are not what I want, and I'm getting frustrated. And the other thing as well, and this is important for everyone, I'm handing over a lot of things to them, and it's a new experience for me. I'm not used to anyone sharing the screen with me like this. I don't mind. That's the easy bit. But me handing off some of the editorial stuff, me handing off all of the reason I don't know who's on the show, Lou's doing all of that now from the Angels, editing all of the stuff that's coming out. Jane's doing based on all the templates. So one of the things is when you've got such a focus and such a drive, this is in 2 answers, Pete. When you've got such a focus and you do find practitioners to come and assist you, it gets really important that you find people who can practice 2 things. They can practice the execution of what you're telling them, or they can practice following the leadership you're giving. And those 2 things are sometimes challenging because people will come in and go, oh, okay, cool, Steve, let me tell you what I think we should do. And I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've also got to drive. The other thing as well is you've got to accept the responsibility of what's coming, everyone. Now, your responsibility may not be that ladies will ring you with you may not find out that there's ladies who have got children that have died after 159 days coming and asking you questions. You may not have people who have had situations with children. You may not have that. It may not be your world. But guess what? The responsibility of someone's truth, regardless of what it is, doesn't have to be, oh, it's because of an infant child that's gone. It's because of a pregnancy that was lost. Said beautifully, respectfully to those amazing ladies, your responsibility is to someone's truth. Can you help me edit a video? Can you help me understand how I should actually exist in the world Shannon represents? Can you help me to understand how I might be able to get from this part of town to that part of town, because you don't know the story of why they're needing instructions from you. So if you're in the street and someone says, can you tell me how I get to ABC? You don't know why they need to go there. So don't anyone think that your responsibility to be a gift to someone else is based on the level of emotive impact. Oh, you know, I don't have the story Steve has about all the things he says about people approach him about. If someone in the street asks you for directions, have the responsibility to serve their truth.
Yeah. Shannon, does that make sense?
Oh my gosh, it makes total sense. Like, it's so clear now.
Oh, that's awesome. No, that's
so
fantastic.
Shannon, why did you ask the question?
Well, because, I am pushing myself so hard now. I'm in graduate school. I'm studying for my doctorate. I'm working. I have my consulting company. And, I got up this morning at 3:30 to take a test. And, it's like I'm just like pushing so hard because I really want to create change around those around me. But I also want to change my own life. And a lot of times people just don't understand what that drive is about.
That makes a lot of sense to me. That makes so much sense. Yeah. I mean, again, they're going to misinterpret kind of what Stephen's talking about a little bit there, the failing, the winning, the failing, all that stuff, and why you're trying so hard and everything that you're doing. But I can tell you that from a lot of the people that we have spoken to on this show, it's always about how we are kind of reflecting of what people are thinking about us and the feedback we're getting. And we're going, well, why don't they see what I'm working at? Why don't they understand what I'm... And so I can totally relate to what you're talking about, Stephen. Yeah, let me just add to the stream there.
Shannon, your life is not about you. Your life is about the service and value add to others. Because when you leave this life, the only thing of currency that's worth anything is your impact on others. So when you wake up at 3 a.m, or someone doesn't understand what you're doing, or as I often get people saying, oh, Steve, you need to have big followers and you should be charging this and you should be doing that, you should be doing this. Yeah, that's all fine. Your life is not about you. Every single morning I wake up and ask, whose life can I impact today?
Yes.
And whilst I'm doing that, if people then go, well, hang on, Steve, how come you haven't got a wife? How come you haven't got kids? Why can't you have, I'm in a love affair with every human being on the planet. That's just where I am right now.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
So your life is not about you. So when someone actually interprets your life based on their judgment of what they think you should do, number one, what other people think of you is none of your business.
Yes.
And most people's opinions are like armpits. They usually stink.
Yes.
So your life is not about you. So if you're in the process of doing something that you're passionately focused on and it fulfills the reason you breathe,
yes,
no one else needs to have an opinion. No one.
Love it.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
I hope that
it's totally different for me now.
Good.
It made getting up 3:30 seem normal now, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I'm still awake.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Shannon, thank you for the question. Stick around with us, okay?
I will stick around. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Stephen. This has brought such clarity to me. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Sorry, I'm fiddling with my ears, but they're pulling out of my ears.
Question.
And yeah, it was. Wow.
Yeah, and I totally relate to this idea of like when you get feedback from people, they don't seem to understand what you're doing and they question it. It's really hard to explain sometimes what you're thinking, what you're doing, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, let me jump to a couple quick one-liners here. And I apologize. I always have to put this stuff up after the case because we're watching the show, we're listening to the show. I'm listening to Stephen's cues. I'm watching. I'm trying to be an observer. I'm doing all of that stuff and I'm just loving it. So I love all this. Let me just throw a couple quick, and if we don't get to everybody, I'm sorry. Let's throw a couple things. Hi, Matt. Look at that. We got some people interacting with each other, humans. That's what matters. Yep. That's a good question. Ask Stephen. Love this one here. Thanks for being vulnerable and sharing your authenticity, Stephen. Appreciate the fact that you say that you get frustrated first and then move on. So that is actually I get this all the time. I want to tell you something, Stephen. You know this. Everyone thinks I'm so upbeat all the time. Oh, man, I wish people knew me. I wish people. They don't want to spend no time in here, everybody. Let me tell you something, right? I work full time. This is full-time work all the time. But I love this. Fail attempt in learning. Fail forward. I love that. That's great. There's so many great things in here. Gosh, I love it. I'm going to try to get to some more in a little bit. Now, one of the things, here, let me just go through real quick again, some other stuff here, Steve. Great advice. Amen. Here's a big one here. Good day, Stephen. Beautiful gem of gentleman. Love that. Boom.
Thank you. Yeah, boom. Yeah. Kenny. Thanks, Kenny.
Shannon Rock. Look at that. Hey, Shannon, you got a Shannon Rocks. So, I mean,
yeah.
How do you go wrong with the Shannon Rocks? I mean, you gotta love that. Rajiv, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here as well. Let's see. Oh, I love this one here. There's none more driven than Shannon. Whoa,
beautiful.
Shout out. Hey, so there's a little, I believe that, she plays piano. She's a musician, by the way, a singer, songwriter. Oh. Come on. Right?
Wow.
She's got some stuff going on, right? I love that stuff. There you go. 3:30. I love that. And you are a rock star. Look at that. Boom. You see, look, You're a rock star. I love that. Love that stuff. Okay, so one of the things that comes up, Stephen, is talking about you mentioned about the again with Soul Shifters and in your side, your academy and all kinds of different things, but also being on this show. So I know that we brought together a quick little. And this is the first time we're going to play this for everybody because we're trying to demonstrate, what this show is, and that's why at the beginning of the show, Stephen was saying, we do this, we do that. We're trying to make it valuable. We're trying to bring as much, insight and value to everybody. But we created this, or Stephen did this. I didn't say we. Stephen created this, and here's a quick little about booking on the show. Okay, everybody. So we'll talk about this when we come back, Stephen. But it's only 30 seconds. Let's have a quick peek of it. I'm going to put it up on LinkedIn too, by the way. So let's just see what this is.
Go for it.
Pull your screen down just a little bit. You can hear me clear and loud. So that there you go. Just a little bit more. There you go. Okay, my friend. We got 10 minutes to go. Boom, boom, and boom. A live experience with Stephen Sede. Intellectualized sentimentality,
Congruency alignment,
the origins of opinion addiction,
about eulogy living.
My question is...
I have a question for you.
My question to you is...
Wow.
I need that goal.
I did feel it. I did feel that.
And I just want to hug you.
What the heck is happening right now?
So there you have it. There you have it.
That's what happens when you come on the show.
That's what happens when you come on the show. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and again, we're going to try to make it a little bit more clear of how to get on the show. But I'm going to say one of the best ways, obviously, is reaching out to you, obviously through your website, Stephen, LinkedIn as well, and other guests have been sharing their experiences as well.
Yeah, what we do is one of the things that I really love about it is that we actually provide guest invitations, and we've dropped a little bit behind the ball on that in the last week or two. But a lot of people are coming on the show as invites and guests of others, because what I want to do is I want to create a movement of moments. So Shannon clearly had a moment just then. Thank you. It's a gift that I can do what I do. It's just a flat out gift. I just happen to have got it, and I'm very humbled by it. But to come on the show is one thing. To get inside of Soul Shifters and everything that happens after is quite another. So all we're wanting to do is create a movement of moments.
Fantastic. Hey, listen, I just want to make sure we throw out Gabe. Hey, Gabe.
Hey, Gabe.
Here. Gabe was one of the gentlemen, was the gentleman actually that worked with me, Stephen, to get access to LinkedIn Live. Gave me some of the ideas and the process and things like that. And
feel free to help me, Gabriel. I think we've got a show of some quality that might deserve being live. I think.
He said, I'm actually simulcasting this show across my social media platforms.
Oh, wow. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Kind. Are you kidding me, Gabe? That's fantastic, brother. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate it.
Wow, that is super, super kind. And Sarah, hello there, my friend. Look, I love all this stuff. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep moving west. We're moving from east to west.
There we go.
We're going to central Midwest. Well, it's not Midwest, actually. It's more southeast. You know what? It's Colorado. We're going to Colorado.
Oh, isn't that where the Rocky Mountains are?
I was trying to. Yes, of course. Yes,
okay, cool.
Beautiful Rocky Mountains, of course. I've not been there. I just love that. But, and I've never been to Denver, Colorado, or in Colorado in general. I don't know what's going on. I got to get out more.
We're about to go now.
Yeah, we're about to go right now. So let's see if we have our good friend Rhonda. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Rhonda,
hey, Rhonda.
Good to see you. So where exactly are you again in Colorado? I always use Denver as benchmark, but generally speaking,
I'm in Erie. It's just a little town. I'm probably about 10 to 15 miles north of Denver.
Got it. Okay, fantastic. Well, listen, so appreciate you being here. We always recommend to everybody watching the show to go on LinkedIn and look up everybody's, our LinkedIn profiles, find out more about everybody. Because if we spend time at that, this guy in the middle would never get everything answered. So I'm going to leave you right now with Stephen for your question, and thank you for being on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Hello, Stephen.
I've never been to Denver. This is beautiful. Hello, Rhonda. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. And Shannon, thank you as well. I forgot to say that. What are we talking about, Rhonda? You're not nervous, are you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, don't be nervous. If you get nervous, I'll get nervous, and between the two of us, we won't know what we're doing.
Right.
So
I'm not nervous. We'll be fine.
good.
Do it.
Let's just do a dance. We'll dance on the whiteboard. We'll be good. What can we chat about?
So this is what I was thinking about with I'm a coach, and someone had told me that I was too forward. So then I pulled back, and now I'm being told that I'm too closed in. So my question is, how do you express your passion about something without sounding too forward with your ideas and still being mindful and kind?
What's your passion?
My passion is communication coaching, and
Why?
I keep going back to relationships. I was trying to transition to, well, I am transitioning. I'm in school for executive coaching, and I keep getting pulled back to the relationship coaching. And I say that by people reaching out to me about relationship coaching.
Okay. In your experience in life, how many people have a passion?
Lots of people have a passion.
How many?
Oh, I don't know how many.
Like a relentless passion that is the pursuit of what they do, not a hobby.
Okay, that strong passion, like I feel about it.
That
I would
strong passion. Yeah.
That I've known probably, 10 people that were really committed to their passion.
Okay, cool. How many people have an opinion?
Everybody has an opinion.
Okay. What are the opinions? So let's just say, okay, 100% of people have opinion. So 100% of people have an opinion, 10% of people have a passion. Now, a lot of people have passion and they're really good at telling you about it. But I'm talking about passion where you give up sleep. I'm talking about passion where I've got a really good passion, Steve. What's your passion? I love to go sailing, and I go sailing on Saturday mornings, but everything else I do is based on jobs and all that kind of stuff. I have a lot of people who try and mentor me in my passion whilst they're doing a day job.
Mm.
But Trevor, for example, yesterday, Trevor is in the corporate world, but he's a practitioner of commercial success in what he does. So there's elements of what he does, which is the reason I communicate with him. So 10% of people have a passion, and I'll have to go to blue. 10% of people have a passion, 100% of people have an opinion. What are most people's opinion in the positive and the negative? Give me a percentage. How many people have a positive, in fact, we'll do it this way. How many people have a positive opinion about what you're doing? How many people have a negative opinion about what you're doing? And everyone, this is a mini masterclass for everyone inspired by Rhonda. Of how many people's opinions are positive from your experience?
About 50%.
And 50%?
We have a 50%. Yeah.
Okay. So would it be fair to say that 50% of the positive opinions would have told you to keep being passionate about what you're passionate about, but 50% of the negative opinions had you shutting down or stepping back? We'll call it step back. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
So 50% of the negative opinions of 100% of the people told you to step back, so you did, but only 10% of those people would have a passion and would therefore be practitioners, would practice anything. And it doesn't have to be communications. It doesn't have to be coaching, but they're out in the arena. The credit belongs to those who are in the arena. So one of the things is, what are you actually passionate about? What are the 3 things that you're passionate about?
Relationship communication, mindfulness.
Yep.
And conflict resolution.
In that order?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How many, I'm going to have to go to red now, all the pens seem to be dying. How many of the 50% of people that are positive about what your passion is need relationship and communication coaching?
Oh.
Of this 50%, how many of them need relationship and communication coaching?
I would have to say most of them, or let's go with 48%. We'll just give a 2% that don't, but most of them do. Most of them need relationship.
Yeah. Coaching. So using that as a percentage, so of all of those people, out of 100%, how many of them need relationship and communication coaching? Can I answer that for you? 99%
Sure.
of people need either relationship or communication coaching. I need it. And everyone would say I'm a pretty good communicator. I need it. It's the reason why I study it every single day. Out of 100% allocation here, of the 50%, how many of those people need mindfulness coaching?
I'd say the same.
And conflict and resolution?
The same.
Okay. So here's the kicker. Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Why is 1% of someone else's negative opinion determining what you're going to do based on your passion? 1%. And that's 1% of the positive people that you've already said have an opinion that supports you. Mm-hmm. I don't care what other people think because I'm too busy caring about how they think of themselves. I don't care what you think about me, but I sure do care what you think about you, and I dedicate my life to making sure that you can look in the mirror and love what you see. If you don't like my approach, that's okay. I'll love you to bits because there's 3 ways to live your life. Lead me and I'll be a servant to your leadership. Follow me and I'll be your servant leader, or step aside and I'll be a servant by my example as I pass you by. My answer to your question is 1% of people out of the equation that we've gone through are telling you that you shouldn't be so forward when relationship and communication, if you're not forward about it, no one's going to listen. Mindfulness is not that level of boom, 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 but it needs to be present. And conflict resolution needs to be firm and stern and affirmative. You can't do that while 1% of the world's telling you to step back. My advice to you, if you are so passionate about what you're doing, lead me, follow me, or step aside. And remember what I said, I'll be a servant to your leadership. I'll be a servant leader. I'll be a servant by my example. It's very hard to walk past someone who doesn't like what you do and tell them to get off if your servantship is passing by. Because you know what? Halfway around passing by your example, they're probably going to reach out and grab you. Why? Because you didn't tell them where to get lost. Because conflict is not good at getting lost. You were mindful of them, so you're being a servant as you pass them by. And your relationship and communication with them is your servantship by example. Just in case there's one tiny thing you see about my example that may make you look in the mirror and love what you see. 1% of the world are telling you, maybe it's time for me to step back. Stephen DeSade and DeSade Land and Soul Shifters are saying 100% of you needs to step into why you're passionate about what you're passionate about, and the universe will send you everything you need, including conversations like this. Peter?
Wow. You okay, Rhonda? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's emotional stuff. Listen, everybody, it's emotional stuff. It's okay, Rhonda. It's emotional stuff, and to hear someone remind you of what you are so passionate about and what your heart beats for and what your soul is screaming to you, and hear someone to affirm that is overwhelming. You should feel emotional.
So good.
Right?
Thank you so much.
Rhonda, ask me what it is that I do.
What do you do, Stephen?
I'm a universal courier that's been sent to answer your doubt. That's got nothing to do with religion, everyone. It's got nothing to do with spirituality. It's got to do with this. How long have you been lying in your moments of quiet, waking up in the middle of the night, doing your daily chores, running kids to school or whatever your world is, and in the back of your mind there's that little whisper of you're a loser, you're a loser, you're a loser, step back, step back, step back, and then there's this call of what am I going to do, what am I going to do, what am I going to do? When people like you go, what am I going to do, what am I going to do, what am I going to do, it's like Uber Eats to me. That's why I come. And somehow you get on this show, somehow you get an opportunity to talk to me. So everyone, this is inspired by Shannon, for everyone that's listening, or Rhonda, sorry, for everyone that's listening. If there's a whisper in your heart and your soul that's making you doubt, start calling and someone from Soul Shifters will get you to speak to me. And this is proof, Rhonda's proof. I'm a universal courier that's been sent to answer your doubt, Rhonda, because you had the guts to keep calling out, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Being told to suppress who I am is wrong, is wrong, is wrong, is wrong. And I heard you.
That's why you're here. Peter?
Thank you.
Rhonda, that's listen, we thank you for your question and your vulnerability and your humility to just let everyone inside for a minute, because I promise you, you've impacted someone tremendously tonight, or today, and whenever someone's listening to this. Yes, Stephen and I included. It's always humbling to see when. I just want to remind you, just me and you, if we were just talking right now, is that I so relate to that feeling you just had, though. When someone is super kind to me and reminds me of what I'm supposed to be doing, I get overwhelmed. I get super overwhelmed emotionally. So that just means you're on the right track. So Stephen, again, it just means you're on the right track. So we so appreciate you being here. Will you stick around for a little bit? Stick around for a little bit.
Absolutely.
We promise we won't make you cry anymore. We promise. Those are happy tears, though. Those are happy tears.
Yeah.
Discovery tears. That's what we call them. We're going to call them discovery tears.
That was super emotional stuff, man. I'm getting a little. I got to keep moving because
cutting onions.
I know. I got to try to keep it together here. I'm trying to keep staying cool here, right? Trying to bring out all that. But
cutting onions, as you called it last week.
I just love the fact that that resonated with her at that level, and I want to remind you've done it with me as well, Stephen. But when Renuka does it with me all the time, my wife, my spouse, when she tells me that she believes in me, and when you hear that from someone, it gets overwhelming. It gets super overwhelming when someone really 100% believes in you and tells you that you're on the right track. And it's rare when you find those people. Keep them close to you in your life as well. Keep them in your life. And I'll double check and see what anytime I see you up to something there. Thank you.
I forgot to say this at this morning's tactic. Love is an everlasting opportunity to value each other. That's what love is. It's an everlasting opportunity to value each other. So when I say to people, I'm a universal courier that's been sent to suppress your doubt. I've forgotten what the line is now. I'm a universal courier that's been sent to answer your doubt. It's because I have such a love affair with every human being on the planet, because everyone deserves to look in the mirror and love what they see. So it's an everlasting opportunity to value each other. And that's what Soul Shifters is about. It's why I breathe. In fact, as some of people inside of Soul Shifters would see the image I send out, making you reach beyond yourself was why I was created.
That's fantastic stuff, my friend. Fantastic stuff. Here, let me move a few things around here. I know we have so many different comments that are just pouring in here. I think Rhonda touched, she touched everybody, but I think most people can just really resonate with what she heard there from you, and I just love that. So here, let's just throw a hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. So there's Rashmi. I guess again, we don't know how everyone knows each other, but it's awesome, wonderful, inspiring show. Thank you. Hey, that's nice.
Trevor, That's Trevor.
Oh, there you go.
In Perth on the West Coast. Thanks, Trev.
I'm reading way too much stuff on the screen here. 1%. Ouch. Yes, that's so true, Sarah. That's true. 100. A lot of people got interests and ideas and maybe hobbies and things like that, but very, very few have these passions that just eat them alive every single day and night and so on. So love that, Michelle. Yeah, powerful. Absolutely. Hey, there it is. Hello there. Wonderful human being. Gabe is right. I so appreciate having Gabe here. Rhonda, you are meant to do what you feel in your heart. Keep going. That's from Andrea. So there you go. Andrea's
fantastic.
She's
Keep going.
Rock star. I like her. She's awesome. I just so like her. And Kat, what is she doing up again?
Kat's she's giving up sleep. Isn't she beautiful? She's coming back on the show. Lou told me last night that she's booked again to come back on. So that's Kat. Good. So we'll see Kat again soon.
So please, everyone, go check out Kat, her LinkedIn profile, and go check out her artistry. She is an amazing artist. Rhonda, you got this, girl. Look at this. So cool, right? Look, don't you feel good, Rhonda? See, we make you smile. It's all good. Look at Sarah. Tell them to put shades on it. You are going to keep shining whether they like it or not. Hey, put shades on it. I like that. I'm stealing that. Sarah, I'm taking that. Hey, buddy, put shades on that. I love that. I'm going to shine anyway. I love that. That's so cool. look, there's so many amazing comments here. I'm just going to click through them real quick for you. I want you to see some of these things here, Stephen, because people are, they just get so much value out of it.
It's Michelle's love it.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a favorite.
Love that. There we go. And there we go. We just, so many great comments. Hey, thanks everybody. We really appreciate that. Now, let's keep rocking and rolling. We got to take a little bit of a jump. We got to go all the way leaving North America. We got to go across a time zone. And by the magic of the internet, I'm leaving Tuesday. I'm going into Wednesday.
Exactly.
I love Back to the Future, my favorite movie, by the way, everybody. Back to the Future. Oh, I just love that movie. So I'm actually jumping into the future right now, which I love. And we have someone that's probably just down the street from you. I don't know where he is like, geographically, but let's see if we can bring Naz in. Hey, Naz, how are you, buddy?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good to see you, my friend. You're from Sydney.
Good to see you too.
Right, Sydney. Okay.
I am. I'm sort of northwest of Sydney. Let's say that.
Okay, so you're just a little bit. So you're close enough. Listen, you're right in his time zone. It's rare. It's very rare we get anyone in his time zone.
No one in Sydney. Yeah. No one in Sydney wants to talk to me. But anyway.
Absolutely. So now
there's me.
Well, I so appreciate you being here and sticking around and waiting all this time in the green room. So appreciate that. I just noticed for the first time though, you got a guitar in the background. So you're a musician as well.
I do have a guitar, and I don't play a lot of it though.
That's okay.
I play a few different Eastern instruments, but trying. So
when you say Eastern, give me one. What do you play?
Have you heard of a rebab?
I have. Oh, see,
I've got a rebab.
Okay, we got to chat about that. We'll chat about that. Listen, musicians love musicians. Got a soft heart for
love music.
Musicians. Yeah, absolutely. I love music. It's the international language. We can go anywhere in the world. I'm going to leave you with Steve with your question. Hey, thanks for joining us on the show. We so appreciate it.
Thank you, mate. Yeah. Cheers.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Thanks for doing this.
Great, mate. Thank you for doing this. I truly appreciate it, mate. Look, I'm absolutely astonished at your sort of talent of breaking the mechanics of everything. It's like absolutely crazy. Now, I've seen a lot of your videos, and sometimes I don't understand it. Maybe I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar, but I have to go back through it and sort of pause and look, and it boom makes sense. But it's awesome. So that's
normally what happens is if you're and this is a message for everyone inspired by Naz, if you're looking for a bit of light content that can entertain you, or a bit of light content that might teach you something, maybe this is not for you. If you're looking for something that's going to shift your soul and enable you to take the next step on your life that you've been desperately wanting to take, Rhonda as an example, just gone, then I'm talking to you.
Absolutely. I truly agree.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Go for it, buddy. Thanks for that. It's a good message inspired by you. Go for it.
Nice. So my question for you, Stephen, it's about the yin and the yang. Yep. It's about spiritual and material. And I have struggled this for quite a while now. Where do you draw the line? Where's the equilibrium? I know you talk about the head-based and heart-based. But where do you draw the line? We live in a dualistic world. There has to surely be an equilibrium where we have to draw the line, because you can't be just all love, give. And from experience, every time I've sort of leaned too much towards one of these things, I've experienced chaos. So that's the question, basically.
Okay. Well, first of all, this is not, when I say spiritual, I'm not talking about religion. There's nothing wrong with religion, by the way, but
no,
we are all spiritual beings living out, as my mentor Bob always used to say to me, we are spiritual beings living out a human existence.
Yes.
So when you say you draw the line, there is no line. We live in the atmosphere of spirituality. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people would go, well, isn't that religion, Steve? No, religion is man's interpretation of spirituality. That's why we have religious wars. We don't have spirituality wars. So the atmosphere of your being is spirituality. And spirituality is all of the things I put into the Sede tactic this morning about kindness and gratitude, forgiveness, all those types of things. Every single thing. And so from my point of view, it's a little bit like going, yes, you can do the northern and southern hemispheres and all that kind of stuff. But if you said to someone, how do you put a line through the atmosphere of planet Earth? You don't. How do you divide gravity? You don't. How do you actually divide the atmosphere between that side and that side, and that side's better than this side? You don't. Some parts are colder than others, but oxygen is oxygen. So the first thing you need to do, you need to be a being of holistic spirituality. Oh, what does that actually mean? You need to be true to yourself. So the first element of spirituality is your truth. The second element of spirituality is forgiveness. The third element of spirituality is service. You're a spiritual being of truth, forgiveness, and service. Period. Put a line through that. Okay? Now, I understand there's an element of, well, what about the commercialism, Steve? How do we do commercialism? Well, let's do that for a second. And my black pen has made a comeback. Down here, there is 3 things that you need to do. Down here is where people transact time and money. And it's literally a transaction. Here is how people transform. Here is how people transcend. The reason people get so emotional on the show is I play here. And what happens is you get people from a position of they're unaware of who you are. They're unaware of, guess what? Your truth, forgiveness, and service. They become aware of you. They become engaged with you. And then they become engrossed with you. They'll get on the show and say all the things that people say, which is very kind, because everything I do is play in the process of, I'm going to transform your life and your belief, because most people are transacting doubt. We are going to transform you into love and transform you into a spirit of, guess what? Truth, forgiveness, and service. And once you've got truth, forgiveness, and service, you unlock purpose and passion. So what does that look like on a commercial basis? You can come into the Inspiring Insights show, which is what you've done. Then you can come into Soul Shifters, which is what you've done. Then you can come into the movement of the Sede. Then you can actually start being coached by me. And I make no apologies, that's what I'm doing. But all of this will forever stay free. Forever stay free. Because the Soul Shifters and the Sede platform is a platform for everyone where no one gets left behind. But if you want me to coach you, I will. If you want to get involved and pay $1 a day to get involved in the movement, we will. But if you want to stay down here and just have your moment with Steve that'll inspire you and encourage you, then that's fine. So one of the things that you need to do is, how unaware are people of your truth, forgiveness, and service? How aware can you make them of your truth, forgiveness, and service? And then you engage them from a place of purpose and passion, because when you have purpose and passion, other people call that their truth. They call it trust. And people invest in trust. So do you want me to do the short version, the real simple version? You need to work out that there is no divide between being a spiritual being and being a commercial being. They're the same thing. You need to work and operate from truth, forgiveness, and service. So truth, forgiveness, and service is, you're going to be the best bricklayer you can. You're going to be the best baker you can. You're going to be the best coach you can. You're going to actually have to compete with how much is out there right now. And most people are not interested in transcending and transforming everyone. Most people are trying to get you to go from unaware to aware, make as many comments and as many likes about me as you possibly can. And by the way, if you put your details on my page and give me some money, I'll tell you how to buy one of these swimming pools that are behind me. Don't worry that it's a green screen and it's not real. And most people don't want a swimming pool or a green screen. Most people want you to do what I just did with Rhonda. So the very first thing that you need to focus on in your business and your life is, you're a spiritual person of truth, forgiveness, and service. What is your purpose and what is your passion? And Peter expressed his passion of his music. It's the reason Peter Clark will sometimes go on holidays. And one occasion I know of, he went to Ireland and he walks around Ireland with his guitar in an evening, and he walks in, he buys a beer and he goes, "Do you mind if I play?" And he did it recently in a story he told last week, where a lady came up and said, I was thinking of killing myself today because I'm feeling so desperate about my life. And I came in to have a beer to calm down and probably give myself the courage to do it. And you started playing, and you've made a difference in my life. Because Peter's truth, forgiveness, and for service is he has a purpose and a passion for music. You could tell by the way he got so excited. The show's running over today, and Peter's still rabbiting on about music, and I love him for it because it's his purpose and passion. So the very first thing you need to do, what is your purpose and passion? What are you trying to achieve? Or are you just trying to transact time and money? Because welcome to the world of noise if that's all you're doing.
Wow. Naz, you get that, brother? Man, I
do. I absolutely do. Yes.
And this will be cut out and sent as a separate video for you to watch, Naz. And inside of Soul Shifters, now that we've finished all of the building that's been going on now, or Soul Shifters now will start getting populated more and more with me teaching you how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely amazing. Look, when I was referring to spirituality, I was in no means referring to religion.
No, that's fine.
But when you say that the spiritual world is also the material world, so it's the same thing.
Yes.
But with the headspace and heart space, I'll tell you a little quick thing. I'm not going to take too much time. Just touching base on that commercializing, and monetary values, or charging money in simple terms, from experience. Look, my experience, personal experience, the minute you offer something for free, it immediately loses 99% of its value. I have done experiments with that. So, I've offered my coaching services for free where people I've had a 1% successful ratio, where then if I've offered it through money, charging for it, I've had all of a sudden same content, 70% success. How does that work?
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally. Yeah.
People.
It's you stand on the street and hand out $10 notes. People will walk past because they don't think it's real, even though it's a real $10 note.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's keep going.
So I absolutely appreciate what you're doing, and I see the value behind it, and I am with you when you say this is totally for free, and I don't want to monetize on it. But
That's not what I said.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know how this works?
Not exactly. Yes.
No. I understand, but it's a good distinction. Here's a question to every single person, and this includes you, Naz, but for everyone else. What is it that you're good at? You know why we do Inspiring Insights? Because I had a conversation with Peter 2.5 years ago on my birthday. I did some work with a guy out of Florida who's won Emmys and all those types of things. And people who have worked with me and invested in my coaching, one of the most common things people say, and it's at the end of the intro video, I've never met anyone quite like you. And Matthew, bless him, Matthew actually said to me, he said, Steve, you need to do what you do one-to-one in front of many, because no one will believe you can do it. No one can believe you can write on a whiteboard instantaneously. No one can believe it. So Inspiring Insights, guess what it is? In one level, just as a commercial perspective, this show runs for an hour or so as best as we can, and all it is upward of 50 bits of content that gets created. So my content creation is happening right now, because the one thing that is unique about me, and we all have our uniqueness, is the ability for me to do this. So the reason I do this is for me to promote one-to-one in front of many, because no one can believe I can do this, because how do you explain it? And I spent 10 years trying to work out, how do I describe and how do I sell and monetize? I've never met anyone quite like you, because if people don't understand it, they won't buy it. So question to you, Naz, what is it that makes you unique about what you do? Because this is not giving away stuff for free. This is collecting abundance of examples of the gift that is me. What is the abundant example of the gift that is you? Because here's the deal. Your brand needs to be what people feel when they hear it, what people want when they hear it, and what people think about it when they hear it. The Sede brand, it's the reason why you'll see things coming out, Sede Masterclass, Sede Wisdom, Sede Nuggets, Sede Insights. You hear the word Sede
And over time, what you feel, want, and think will be a shift in your soul. I'm trying to actually replace the word Sede with the level of feeling, wanting, and thinking that has people so engrossed, not in me, in themselves. So Naz, if I think of the brand of Naz, do this real quick. If I think of the brand of Naz, what do I feel, what do I want, and what do I think when I hear brand Naz? And you know what, mate? If you can't answer that question, how the hell am I? How the hell is anyone who you're going to coach? So the difference is what most people do is they never spend enough time working out what people are going to buy, and then they have the discussion between free and cost. And they don't even know what's the value. This is value. This is cost. So the brand Naz, what are people going to feel when they experience it? What are they going to get? Therefore, what you can tell them that they want, and what are they going to think about? So, for example, some of the comments, and when people think about Sede now, they're now starting to say soul shifters are with you. What do you think Rhonda thinks, wants, and feels about the brand of Sede? So, what's the brand of Naz? What do people feel when they've engaged with you? So let's do this real quick, and I know I've got to wrap up. When you do one-to-one coaching with people, whether it's free or whether it's paid, what are the top 3 things that they're feeling? Behavior. How are they behaving? Number 2, what do they want? When they first ring you up, what are the things that they are asking? Number 3, what are the 3 things as you talk to them that they start going, aha? Oh my goodness, I never thought of that. Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. So if you think of what's happened today with each of the guests, what are they feeling? How are they behaving? Right down to Rhonda being emotional about realizing she's as beautiful as she's forgotten to remind herself. What are they wanting? What are the 3 things people are wanting? Guess what it is? Clarity, confidence, to be able to be creative. And then what are they thinking during the course of this? Yes, they're thinking about, isn't this amazing the way Steve does it? But what are they? What's their aha moments? Oh, that's so clear. Oh, Steve, I know what I got to do now. So brand Naz, what are people feeling when you speak to them? So the first thing I want you to do is think of all of the coaching sessions you've done. Pick out 3 of them. Ask yourself with each of those people. So it'll be Tony, Jenny, and Phil, for example, right? What did Tony, Jenny, and Phil, what was their belief? What was their behavior, I should say? What did they actually do? Then what were they actually wanting? When they got on the call, what were they asking me about? Then, as we spoke, and by the time we finished, what were the aha moments they said about experiencing the brand of Naz? If you work out those 9 elements to your brand, you've now just identified what people feel, what people want, and what people think when they experience you. And that will put you 99% higher than everyone else who's busy trying to work out, how do I actually cost my value? And they haven't worked out what their value is.
I love that.
The Inspiring Insights show is currently creating a level of pricelessness in everyone's soul, and I'm getting content with people seeing it live. We don't book anyone on that. The reason that we're up to episode 16 before we finally done a commercial about coming on the show is the show's booked out until mid-October, I think, by people recommending people to come on the show, and everyone going, how do you get people on your show? I'm getting their names wrong. Sorry, I write people's names down in the corner. I don't know who's coming on the show because Naz is referring this person, who's referring that person, who's referring that. Why? Because of how they feel, want, and think when they meet me. What are people feeling, wanting, and thinking when they meet you, Naz? And if you don't know what it is, I just gave you a 9-point plan on how to find out. Peter?
Yeah, I love that you went to that with Naz, because it also applies to Shannon, and what
applies to everybody.
It applies to everybody. I'm just thinking of Rhonda. Talked about, she's moving in one direction, getting pushed back to another. Shannon keeps driving, pushing forward, and people are going, what are you doing? And so on. And again, if we can't answer those questions about how people feel and think and so on. But Naz, I'll also add very quickly, brother, I so feel your pain, my friend, about the balance between what you give and I heard at the very beginning, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I know what you mean with that feeling of, man, you just can't give. I mean, I know everyone knows the Gary Vee thinking of give, ask, give, ask. It's like, well, man, if that sounds outnumbered to me. And after a while you get very frustrated. So I know what you mean. I know that there's a give and take. I really believe that. but I heard it in your voice when you said, man, you just can't be giving all the time. And that's the reciprocity. That's one of my favorite words. And I know that Stephen and I talked about reciprocity as well. And I know Stephen's going to match up there. And it's funny you said, aha, Stephen, because we are going to bring back the other guests in a second.
Yeah,
but
just a sec. Content, yeah. So really quickly, if you want to know why we do Inspiring Insights, because even Peter said when I had a session with Peter, or I didn't have a session, we just had a conversation 2 years ago on my birthday. And then later on, when I said to Matthew, one of the Sede guests who invests in himself via me, he said, you need to do one-to-ones in front of many. And then Peter and I chatted and goes, yeah, we should do a show. Then I got the Sede Angels to go through all of my comments in the last 6 months. What are the most repetitive words people are saying about me? Inspiring, insightful, wisdom. They were the 3 top words. So guess what we do? We've created a show that actually captures and shares for content that are called Sede Masterclass, Sede Inspiring, Sede Insights, Sede Wisdom, Sede Bites. Why? Because the people who experienced me told me to do it. The people who experienced me said this is what they get. So now we just do a show where we capture and show them. And everyone's going, Steve, how are you doing this? I'm listening. I'm understanding. I'm feeling. I'm not trying to divide the difference between what's what and how do I value and cost. Naz, what are people saying about you? And go and mine into that. Go make a difference with the world with that. Because that's one-to-one in front of many, Inspiring Insights. What are we going to call it? What people tell me I am. What are we going to do? Capture one-to-ones based on inspiring, insightful wisdom, and then cut it up into 50 bits of content each week and send it out. Boom.
Boom.
And then people who lose their children, mothers who have had infants die, ring up and say, Steve, I need you to teach me how to get my life back. Okay.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff. Naz, I hope there's a ton of stuff in there. I want to dive that, but I want to bring people back. If we can jump to that, Stephen, right this second.
Yeah.
I promised Shannon when we started this. I promised Shannon an hour, and she's just like, I've been up since 3:30. She's been up since like 3:30 in the morning, and so we're going to bring everybody back. Rhonda, Shannon. So thank you so much for sticking around. We so appreciate that. I'm going to try to put you guys in order of appearance, and there you are. Look at that. Boom. I love this part of the show. This is one of my favorite. Interacting with you guys is always a pleasure. At the end, it's always fun to bring people back, and here's why. We learn from each other and we listen to others, and you'll always have this aha, something that might have popped while you were talking to Stephen, or maybe it comes from another guest. So that's why I love this sort of roundtable at the end to find out what everyone was thinking. So Shannon, so loved what you brought to the table. I really appreciate that. So keep going, keep doing whatever you're doing, whatever they're telling you to stop and slow down, just keep going. But if you could share with us a little aha, either from your conversation or maybe from one of the guests you heard here today.
Well, definitely aha moments with my one-on-one with Stephen. But, with Rhonda, I actually DM'd Rhonda after that was over. And I said, wow, don't pay attention to the 1%, do what you're supposed to do. And if it's only 1%, that's such a low number, So I think you have a lot to offer, Rhonda, and I think you should go for it.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a great insight. You know what? I'm going to say something to you, Shannon. Listen, you took your opportunity to talk about your aha and gave it. I love that about you. Good for you. That just tells me everything about the nurse in you. Always giving, always giving, right?
Yeah.
I love that. Rhonda, listen, again, can't thank you enough for you being you and just being vulnerable enough to share that. How about an aha from you from today?
Well, I really didn't think I would end up being so emotional. But when Stephen wrote the 1%, all of a sudden I felt like, I have extreme passion for what I want to do. And I can't take that and put it in a BS box over here because that's not who I am. And now I feel like I can just grow and flourish with what I really, really, really am passionate about. Yeah. And thank you very much.
That makes a super ton of sense. And, back to what Shannon said to you, just so you know, like you said, that I love that Shannon just said that 1%. If you think about the very few people that even say anything negative or whatever, we just take it But I so relate to that, by the way. 100 people can tell me great things, and that one person or that one comment, it's a testimony to your sensitivity, which is perfectly in line with what you do for other people. So just keep going. Appreciate that. Naz, always good to see another fellow musician. Keep playing your instruments. Keep playing your music, whatever it is. Just keep doing that. Please share maybe an aha that you had today.
So my aha moment was basically that I need to go back and reiterate my perspective, I would say, on how Steve was explaining, in terms of, commercialize, monetize, or coming from a place of heart, and what that really, really means. So I need to go and work on my perspective.
Wow.
That's eye-opening.
That's insightful. Yeah, to work on your perspective.
Because perspective is everything.
Yeah, right. I mean, we can all look at the same thing and see a couple different things, and
exactly. But the spiritual and material being the same thing.
Yeah, and then right.
It's crazy. Yeah, awesome.
I love that. I'll tell you, for me, today, what I heard a lot of, Stephen, is and it's not so much the word I heard a lot, but I heard just a lot about acceptance today. I don't know why that popped in my head. Shannon talked about her drive, and people didn't understand why she's so driven, and it's like, accept the fact that you are. I'm talking to me now as much as I'm talking to anyone else. Accept that you are, and just let that flow. And the same with Rhonda. Rhonda's just literally, getting pushed back here and there, and then the idea that you reminded her of her essence overwhelmed her, which is fantastic. And then she, the acceptance of that. And Naz is talking about perspective right now. And he's talking about, I need to get perspective. I have to accept that I'm still weighing out that, and I need to, so accepting. And I know for me, it's always been that I'm terrible with compliments. I hate all of that stuff. Suffer from it terribly. And I love when Rhonda came on before Green Room, everybody to know, she goes, I'm so nervous. I'm like, nervous? I'm nervous all the time. And people think it's not true, but the acceptance of, if you're, of who you are. And so I love that. Anyway, this is my favorite part right here. Stephen, for somehow, some way, does that. Oh, sorry, miss. Go ahead, Shannon.
I just want to tell Stephen I love your jacket.
Oh, thanks, gorgeous. Thank you.
Right? Boom! I love that. Yeah.
Is he wearing did the pants match, or is it solid?
No. Well, you can get the pants matching, but no. And I haven't got shorts on. I've got jeans on, everyone, but still.
Super chic.
Thank you.
I love that. See, love that. Okay, Steve, go ahead, my friend. I appreciate that.
Shannon, you said attention and focus. My advice and my takeaway is attention and focus on what you believe and care for, and be an example of it, regardless of anyone else. Rhonda, be extreme to what you believe in of you, because it's your truth, not theirs. Naz, embrace it, your perspective on value from the heart, not cost from the mind. And Peter, accept your truth, drive, intent, and sentiment, and capture and share it every single day in all the relationships you have. So have attention and focus, and be extreme. Embrace what you are and accept it of you, because what you believe of yourself, show it as an example to what you believe to be true of your truth, not anyone else's. Always have a perspective on your value and heart, and have your truth, drive, intent, and sentiment, and share that with the world every single day.
Come on.
That's what they said.
That's not what. Come on, man. That I love that. How do you do that? I have no idea.
I don't know. Has anyone got a view on that? Is that what you heard in today's show, everyone?
Well, that's what we heard, but you just diagrammed it for us.
Definitely.
I just love that, Stephen, my friend. I just love that. I hope our guests. What's the cool thing about this show? Of course, you can screen capture everything. I know you put out tons of content, Stephen, and so we're going to be, this content is available for anyone to have a look at afterwards and so on. I want to thank all of our guests. I'm so, first of all, I apologize for I said 60 minutes, but we're never 60. So
we try.
I always lie up front. I should tell people I lie up front about it, because that sets the expectation. I should say it's 2 hours long and come in at 90. Shannon, thank you so much, Shannon. I so
Thank
love what
you.
you do. I love what you stand for. I love who you're fighting for, by the way. Love that. Love the flags. Keep it rocking and rolling.
Absolutely.
Keep playing, and she's a piano player and a singer-songwriter. I don't know where that's hidden in all of your hours, but please keep that going, would you?
Okay, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And Rhonda, thank you so much for, again, doing what you did, just allowing us to go inside a little bit, and just, I hope you heard exactly what you were supposed to hear today. I think you did.
Yes.
And
Thank
Naz,
you.
and you're a rock star. Naz, are you still doing on your LinkedIn? You do recruiting and things like that. Are you still doing that as well, my friend?
Yeah, so I'm a B2B business at the moment. I do recruiting. Well, that's how I pay my bills. but yeah, obviously I have other things and passions and yeah.
Never forget that. I posted about that recently, and I'll keep posting about that. We are so much more than what we do for a living. We're so much more. I love when people ask me, what do you do? It's like, well, you mean, what do I do for money is what you're asking me. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Go ahead.
Naz, real quick, that exercise I gave you right at the end, you should lean into any of your recruitment associates that actually experience you. Everyone. If someone's experiencing you, ask those nine questions about feel, think, and want. So Naz, it doesn't have to be your coaching. It can extend into what you do commercially, because any interaction you have with another human being, mine into the experience of what they want, think, and feel, because that is your brand.
Wow. See, and the application of the brand is so important. What you just talked about, that applies to Shannon and Rhonda as well, and myself, everybody watching, actually, and so on. Thank you, my guests. You can stick around the green room if you want. We're going to be back in a couple seconds. We're just going to tie off the show, but we so appreciate you guys being here. We really, really do. And those guys were so awesome. Even right? I mean,
it was.
Wow, that was an emotional show. I had to keep it together there for a little bit. And so
cutting onions.
I'm telling you, if I wasn't so busy clicking all these buttons and stuff, I would have been caught up in that story. Like, yeah, I got lost in that one. So I appreciate that. I love what Shannon's doing some great work down there, and she's a nurse. I love that. And Naz, he's a rock star. He's right down your alley. You guys can go for coffee, which is even better.
It'll happen. Yes,
it's cool. So here, I'll just throw up a couple more. We got so many kind things being set up here, Stephen. So I'll just end off a quick couple more with you here. Kat was saying she's happy to be back. Yes, I was time traveling today. You're so right about that. Love the fact that Gabe, look, about to go live. So he was sharing our broadcast. So we appreciate that. He made a kind comment about the idea of sharing content that matters. So
yes,
I super appreciate that. And here we go. Hit. I love this. If you're ready for shift to hit the fan, stick around. I think that's a tagline for you, my friend. That's a tagline there somewhere down the road.
Sarah.
So there's some great lines in there, and of course we're always getting. Hey, love the booms. Always love that, Michelle. Thank you for that.
Favorite.
Just so much going on here. Thank you, powerful. Here's the other great one. This is powerful. I loved it. Thank you so much for doing this, Stephen. So there you go. And always love getting a good shout out from Rashmi, who just had her birthday last week, and we didn't sing happy birthday, but hey,
we're working on it.
I think I'm going to do a little free concert on here one day for our guests. That's what
we should do.
Separately, all together. We'll just do a free concert and have some fun. Listen, my friend, another amazing show. I don't know what to say other than I so appreciate being part of it. I appreciate our guests. I hope that
me too.
Everyone got some value out of the content. And of course, please reach out to Stephen via LinkedIn. All of our guests, by the way, please look them up on LinkedIn as well. That's the whole point of connecting everybody here, and let's build this community, this group of people that care and support each other. And Stephen, love you, buddy. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
The world needs what you're doing, and that's why I wanted to be part of it and give you a place to dance and all that kind of stuff. So
dance we shall. Be well and be brilliant, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everybody. You take care of yourselves. We'll see you again. Cheers, everyone.
Bye.